And Fletcher Brown with another artist video blog at KIX96country.com. Today, next to me, we have one of our returning champions. I think this is like her, fourth, fifth visit to us here?
Not to the station, but to the city.
To the city, really?
Yeah, because we've met outside of the station a couple times.
Gosh, the pandemic is just,
and then the CRS and
it feels like you feel like family. So
well,
I feel like
I love this.
Courtney Dickinson returns to KIX96country.com. All right, Courtney. First of all, it's been way too long. Way too long.
Shouldn't have been this long.
It shouldn't have. No, we've been in touch. I consider, like I said, she's family. I consider Courtney one of our closer friends here at KIX 96. And we followed her career all but from the very beginning.
Yes.
And I love that we can say that we've been a part of your story for that long, and watched you grow and evolve, and your music gets so much better and better and better every time. But the last 2 years, because let's face it, we're coming up on 2 years now.
Yeah.
We're past a year and a half. So if you're rounding up 2 years, have been all but disastrous. But somehow we've managed. It's true. Let's just call a spade a spade. It's disastrous. But somehow music has survived. Artistry has survived. You've survived it. You got married in the interim.
Right before it. Like September of 2019. Wow. And then I guess all of it happened December.
So it
didn't really hit us, I think, until like 2020. Really.
Yeah, we're like spring.
But 2019 it started like randomly popping up.
Well, yeah, we knew it was over there in 2019. By the time you were getting married, we were all like, it's like, oh man, what's going on over there?
That sucks.
On the other side of the world. That could never happen here.
Yeah.
What's that? And then you got married and it came here. It's your fault.
My husband did get sick on a cruise.
Oh, really?
Very sick.
Like you took a cruise at the start of a pandemic?
Well, it was in October. So we didn't know that there was a pandemic because there wasn't yet. He did get sick on the boat though. Like 100 and something fever, like convulsing, like shaking.
Well, that doesn't sound
but then it was sore throat, all this, and the day later he was fine.
Wow.
I don't know.
All right, yeah, Connor, you're dude, that's iron.
But that was when we didn't know anything. You know what I mean? Like,
so that's the key.
Who knows?
Don't know what it is, and you'll be fine.
I guess.
Well, okay. Now we follow you on social media, so my Instagram is constantly dinging with Courtney Dickinson is going live. You have found a way, like a lot of artists have, to continue to create, even in the face of not being able to play in front of live audiences for so long, not being able to do radio tours and promote your music for so long. You've created new music. You've got a new album. You've got a new single. Tell us about what you did and how you came to the decisions to do those things during the last year and a half.
The last year and a half has been pros and cons. Like there's been some pros to the pandemic for music. The social media aspect of forcing you to do lives like online, you had no choice. So, which I actually enjoyed and it was fun and it brought more people. And now that I'm talking about it, I probably should do one because I haven't done one in a while. But I got busy with real shows in person again, which when you do that, you don't have time to do them as much. But there were pros and cons to it. You got to talk to people more. People were more invested. So like when you were online on social media, it wasn't just as a scroll, like, oh, they're live. Okay. People actually watched your concert and talked to you. And so I got to get to know a lot of people and got new friends and new fans out of it that have been so supportive. I released some new music. That was fun and scary because there's never a right time to do anything. I've learned no matter where you are, because I was like, oh, well, I'll release new music now. Well, then turns out they're like, oh, well, everybody's releasing new music now because no one has anything to do. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'll wait. So then I released music later for another single. Oh, well, everybody that didn't release this year is releasing now. So there's just never a good time. But it was good because a lot of good things did come out of it. 2020 was worse than 2021 for me. 2020 was the first few months, like I said, winter is always slow for every musician. So December to March didn't really feel any different because, it's always kind of slow. So March and April is usually when it starts picking back up. And then we went into super lockdown. And then didn't really have many shows. I am from Georgia. So Georgia is a little less strict with rules. So I was able to get some shows at like breweries, of course, not full band, acoustic more so. There were less people. It was more spread out, but at least last fall. So last September, I guess. So a year ago now, I was able to start doing shows again, which was good. Did some stuff through the winter, which was surprising, but I guess people were so happy to be out that it was like, oh, we'll go watch a concert in December. Yeah. Okay, let's go.
People are chomping at the bit for just a reason to get out and go do something.
So it worked out for me. It was fun. And then 2021's not been bad. I mean, yes, it's been slower than I wanted it to be, but I've been traveling. I've gotten to go to Iowa and do some shows, Nebraska. So it's really not been terrible. Of course, I would have loved to have done more, but compared to 2020, it's been great.
All right. So now for me, I've seen a lot of artists like you that I've known for years who do the traditional artist thing. It's like you've got social media, you post on it, I'm going to be here, I'm going to be here, I'm going to be there. Every now and again, we get a peek into your personal life. But the pandemic forced all of you. I mean, we're talking about artists from Luke Combs all the way, down to the young person who's just decided maybe I'm going to try to be a musician. All you've got is really your virtual presence
and your personal life. Because you're like, what do I post about? I'm not doing anything.
Well, I mean, and that was what I was going to ask. Do you feel like you said, that if we're going to try to find something positive out of the pandemic, would you say that your understanding of social media and how you use it has evolved?
Oh, definitely.
Like permanently. Like you will never stop doing social media the way you do it now because of the gains that you've seen.
I feel like there are certain things I've definitely learned that I didn't think were as important. I never really thought people cared as much about hearing me sit in front of my phone and play a cover song. Like, just because I was like, these people are following me for my music. They don't want me to hear me singing somebody else's, but they do. So the cover song, that was something different that I learned, and like doing lives. Yes, people that know my music. And yes, they want me to do it on these lives, but they want to hear me do covers because they want to hear other songs and me do my version. So that's been different, which has been nice, because I mean, that's what I do at my live shows anyway. So that I think continue still doing, like covers, posting, different things like that. People also love, I've figured out, pictures of just me doing nothing, and me expressing what went on that week, which is funny to me because I was like, I didn't think people want to see me in some
I've seen some of these and I'm like these are adorable. They are just adorable.
I never thought anyone would. So that's what me and my husband went on a vacation a month ago. We went to Yellowstone and Tetons, and oh my gosh, and he was a trooper, and we spent a whole day photo shoot just so I could have stuff to post on social media. And I hated being that person. I was like, I have become the person.
But
I have become.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
But he's so cool.
Oh, he was, and he enjoyed it. He's like, because he got good with like the camera, and he was like, man, these are really good pictures. Like, I'm doing a great job. So
Connor, you have a new calling. All right,
so
you're going to be now.
He enjoyed it.
You're going to be now her traveling photographer. You're going to be that. You're going to be her personal paparazzi.
Hey, you
That's
know.
All right. Well, we know that the pandemic gave us a lot of new insights into things that we already have in our life that we can use to keep ourselves interested and keep your fans interested and things like that. But the music, did you find it difficult to create music during this, or was it easier for you to create new music during this?
For me, it was more difficult, not idea-wise. Idea-wise, I feel like I was less distracted, so I thought of more things that, like writing songs and like, ooh, I should do this. But actually writing the song was harder, just because I'm a co-writer. Like yes, I do write stuff on my own, and I get ideas, and I get the majority, or I get what I want to come across. But I am a co-writer. That is how my songs sound the best, like bouncing ideas off other people, hearing their ideas, and like doing it together. And nobody wanted to write in person, and I hate Zoom. So it was hard. I hate Zoom.
No offense, Zoom. This is not personal.
No,
it's just a coldness thing. It's a closeness thing.
I have got to be
Yes.
in person. I've got to feel someone else's energy, like
Mhm.
for writing a song. Anything else? No.
Yeah.
Zoom has been wonderful. Like radio wise,
Mhm.
Zoom has been a godsend because there's stations that I would have never been able to visit just because of how far they are, and routing wise would have been really, really hard to do.
Yeah.
That I was able to talk to on Facebook and
Mhm.
do lives for and reach their, their community. So that part of it I loved because it didn't require, like, I was putting on a show for other people, which is hard when there's no one in the room and it's just your phone. It's super awkward,
Mhm.
but it's not that bad. Whereas writing a song, you got to feel the other person's, it's hard.
Okay.
That part is very difficult.
Okay, so now the current project, your single off of that is Convenience Store.
Yes.
Was this project written entirely through the pandemic, or was it just finished during the pandemic?
So Convenience Store was actually an older song.
Okay.
That the only reason, so I did See You Here,
Mhm.
and See
Which
You,
top 40, congratulations, by the way.
it did not.
Did it not?
No.
Was that another one? No, that
It
wasn't the one
was
that went top 40.
what was it? Not well, Freedom was one.
Freedom went
And
top
then
40. Okay, Freedom went top 40.
Freedom. Yeah, Freedom.
I could have swore See You There went top 40.
I wish it did.
because I wanted
it
to,
should
like,
have.
Okay, I could have sworn I saw Chuck. Like I owe her a hug. For
Freedom
success
did.
on, okay,
See,
Freedom.
but
Also
See
a
You
great
Here
song.
did get other types of things that other songs did not. Like my video for See You Here got debuted on, not debuted, but it was on CMT's like debut videos, like
Yeah.
where they do featured. That's the word I'm thinking
Okay,
of.
that might have been what I wanted.
Featured
to hug you.
videos
That
for-
might have been what that hug was for.
And so
Okay.
See You Here did get that, which
Okay.
none of my videos have ever been on CMT's
But it was
website.
a beautiful song. It was such a beautiful
Oh, it was,
song.
I loved, that was
Yeah.
such a special song. So that one was new. Like
Mhm.
I had just written that one, I think right before the pandemic.
Okay.
So I think like January, February before everything happened. Yeah, it was literally like right before, because I remember it was winter, it was cold outside. And then Convenience Store is actually 4 or 5 years old. I mean,
Really?
it was an older song. I think it was older than that because I went on a radio tour and I know how old I was on that radio tour. And it was my first time going to Iowa, and I had seen all these gas stations and convenience stores I'd never heard of.
Mhm.
And we got back and I wrote this song with Eric Halbig, and we were sitting in his living room and we could not come up with an idea at all that day. I mean, we were both just like, I don't know. So that was before TikTok was a thing. So we old people had to go on Facebook to look at things because there was no TikTok.
Yeah.
So I was scrolling through Facebook, which that sounds so like now you don't do that.
Yeah, that sounds so 2007.
Right. So that tells tells you how old this song is. So I was scrolling through Facebook and there was a comedian that had done this bit about how he wasn't someone's convenience store. And I was like, hey, Eric,
Mhm.
I got an idea.
Mhm.
And it just so happened it worked out because I knew all these convenience stores from my Iowa trip that that had come to mind. And so that was an older song, but every time I did it at a show or on lives, everyone was like, where can I find that? And I'm like, you can't, but I can fix that problem. Like, so that was kind of how Convenience Store made its way.
The song, if you've never heard Convenience Store, I mean, it's not about a convenience store, it's about a relationship. And it's about a woman basically standing her ground and pretty much going like, look, hey.
Drawing that boundary line.
Drawing that line in the sand. And the first time I heard it, I thought, okay, now this is a song that I know can connect with people. Not even, I mean, and if you're guys, you're thinking, oh, I've heard this before. I'm like, no, dude, guys can connect with this too. Because I think that we've all either been in a relationship like this or seen people in a relationship like this from either side of it.
It could even be like, I've thought about, like, this song came from a relationship point of view, but I've even had instances in my life where friendships were like that.
Yes.
Where it was always somebody just calling when they need something, like, hey, I need help with this. But yet you don't ever hear from them when things are going good. It's always when, hey, I just need, or family. I mean, it's been both ways in my life. So it's really, the point of view is definitely coming from a relationship. But the idea of the song and kind of the majority of it the chorus especially is really for anybody that
Mhm.
just feels kind of like you sometimes, like, no, a friendship is a two-way street, not just when you need something.
Exactly. And it's one that, like she said, it's like, it's not, it easily applies to a romantic relationship, but it doesn't have to specifically apply. I think that's why people react to it. I think that's why people at your shows are like, where can I get that song? Because we've all had relationships like that,
Right.
or seen relationships like that. And it's something that we all can plug into. And that's ultimately what music is, right? It's a bridge between two people.
Yep.
You know,
sharing things that, because from a non-musician standpoint, when you hear a song that you're relating to, you're like, oh my gosh, that was written for me.
Yeah.
And it feels so good because
Mhm.
even me, when I hear a song that someone wrote, I'm like, why did I think about that? Yeah, like that connects. And
Mhm.
it's nice to hear a song that is what you're going through.
So now, is the entire project done? Is that album available, or is it just a
No,
single?
so we've just been doing singles, which is now, I guess, the new way.
Is that the new normal? I mean, that's something that that's another question. I mean, I'm not a musician. I don't live in that world.
Well,
So
it's an expensive new normal.
is it?
Because
Is it cheaper to do a whole album project?
I mean, yes and no, because when you do an EP, or used to, you would do 3 to 5 songs. Well, it was an album, and then we ran into this EP stage like series for a while, and
Yeah.
it was like 3 to 5 songs. You'd release one every 2 years, maybe, was kind of the normal. Some people would do it every year. It just
Mhm.
kind of depended. Now, singles have been the new thing, but you're expected to release a single every 3 months on social media because
Oh,
algorithms and stuff like that. That's how you get noticed on all these different playlists and algorithms that then kick in radio. And like, so these people that are getting the whole picture of all these different things, that's what they're doing. And that's how they're kicking up those algorithms. And yeah, releasing a single every 3 months is pretty expensive.
okay. Didn't know that. I just
I
thought,
haven't done it that way yet because it is expensive, but that is what the new plan is of this year. Is that's my goal, and that's what we're in the process of writing and getting together, is kind of planning out pretty much all of 2022. And that way, I mean, obviously right now it's not fully planned, like we've got, a quarter or half of it, but is pretty much by like February, having the whole year figured out of, all right, this song is going to go this date, this date, this date. And it can fluctuate because some songs might have a little longer life and some might have a little shorter, just depending on, what it is. But yeah,
see
social media
all
has.
these months, all you country artists out there that were just dropping songs like once or twice a quarter. I just thought y'all were bored. I was like, we're stuck inside. Might as well just make some music. That's what I thought. I did. But she's educated me.
Social media has
All right. So
all the apps and all the social medias have just nope.
if you haven't had a chance to hear the new one from Courtney Dickinson, our good friend, if you haven't had a chance to hear Convenience Store, I promise you'll love it. Be sure to call us at KIX 96. We will be happy to play it for you.
Yes.
And where do they go and find you on all the socials?
Courtney Dickinson Music. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, they're all Courtney Dickinson Music.
Yeah, you just recently got on TikTok. You haven't been on there for very long, have you?
I have. I just am really bad about posting on there. Like, I'm great at Instagram. Well, not great. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, it's been 4 days. But usually I'm pretty good about Instagram and Facebook. TikTok, not so great.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like people want to see me singing in front of, like, with a guitar every video I post. And I'm not funny. Like, I'm not going to go do dancing, and like, I'm just not. If I could video my husband doing stuff, I'd be viral. But
I think you should.
I am not.
I want the Candid corner.
There is one video in there that I posted that it was when we went to Panama City, and my parents have a place in Panama City that is next to a state park that his family used to they go to, and they'd go to Panama City. And he used to fish there as a kid. So it's a 1.5 mile walk to the point where you have to fish. And he begged and begged to go. And I was like, I just don't want to go. I did. I went, and I sat on a beach chair all day while he fished at the point. So I made a video about it. And I felt like I thought this was the funniest I would ever be because, like I said, I'm just not. And all these boats were just driving by on this little point, and here I am on the point, and they're just all watching me just sit there. And I was like, this is what it feels like to be an animal in a zoo. This is what it feels. And so that's what my video is about. It's the only one I've really ever done with him. But
you should have gotten you like some leafy greens and just kind of like ate it and played with your hair. You know, did like a koala bear, just ate it,
right?
And then give them something to like, what's she doing? As they drive by in their boat. But Courtney Dickinson is our guest. Convenience Store is the single. We're happy to play it for you. Find her on the socials. She's funnier than she thinks she is. I promise. She's way funnier. She's funnier when she's with me, but she's still funny. She's funny in this thing. And go find her music. Seriously, there's plenty of it out there. From See You Here to Freedom to Convenience Store, and to So Over the Rainbow, which was like I think the first song that I think I met you when you were all of the music, and just put Courtney Dickinson in your life. I promise you, if you're a country music fan, you're gonna want her in your playlist. And Courtney, thanks for coming back.
Thank you for having me. It's been too long.
It's been too long, and thank you for saying kind things about my pandemic hair.
I love the glasses. I really do.
See,
those are some cool glasses.
Thank you.
I like them.
I kind of feel like the guy who dies halfway into the horror movie, but only after he's revealed the important stuff that the characters need to know to survive. But then he gets killed. That's me.
Why?
I know, because it's like when I look at myself with these glasses on now, I'm like, you're that guy. You're that guy who's only going to make it about a quarter to a half the way through the horror movie.
No, I think.
But you know the stuff that they need to know to live. But then you pass it on and then you die.
I think
really
cool.
Okay. Thank you. So this was basically just my pandemic. I don't care anymore. Look,
it worked out though.
It apparently did. I've got my own fan base now. I've got pretty much the beard. I should start a Facebook group for Fletch's beard has magical powers. I think I should do that. You think?
Hey, you've gotten a lot of compliments. I mean,
it's great. I love it. Courtney Dickinson and Fine Convenience Store. Courtney, thanks for being here. Come back again.
Yes, not so long this time.
Don't bring the pandemic.
Okay, I won't.
We don't need any more of that.
No.
So, and tell Connor we said hi.
I will.
Connor's Candid Corner. Just get ready because I'm going to have her film you secretly. And then
I did in the car the other day. I just haven't posted it yet.
It's going to be great. And we'll see you next time on another artist video blog here at KIX 96 Country.